Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Sagittarius May 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for a number of you Saggies over the course of the last month. Haven't I? And you know who you are. It's been great to get to know you personally. And if you might be interested in having a one-on-one clairvoyant reading with me, just check out the information that's in the description below. Now, of course, I have to charge for readings, naturally. But what I don't charge for, and which I offer separately, is healing. Now, when I was born, in addition to the gift of clairvoyance, I was bestowed with the gift of healing, but on the express condition that I obtain no benefit from it myself. Therefore, the healing that comes through me, not from me, is offered on the basis that it's entirely free and without obligation. And if you might be interested in seeing what's involved in that, it won't take long, 15 minutes, something like that. Then, depending on my availability, we'll get something underway for you. As I say, I don't sell anything or recommend any products or services from me or anybody else. Now, what we're going to do now is take 5 cards, because as the subscribers know, and marvellous to see the subscribers always, do you know you're part of my extended family? Truly you are. I'd love to see you each month. Hope you're doing well. As you know, there are no video advertisements which break into this content here, so there's no commercial intrusion to interrupt your experience of the reading. But now, and as you also know, with the 5 cards that we take, these 5 cards speak volumes to us. They're very talkative. And so, they take up our time. There's the Emperor. They speak volumes to us, don't they? And certainly they do to you, the highly talented and attractive Sagittarius. That's the Hierophant, incidentally. Did I mention that? We shall see what's here. This is the King of Cups. Looks like a clipper ship there. I used to spend a lot of time surfing when I was a child, or up until my late teens, with the result that I spend my later years having skin cancers cut out of me non-stop. So beware of the sun. Everybody in Australia knows that, or should know it by now anyway. Certainly South Africa and New Zealand as well. Now let's have a look here. What is there here? 4 of Swords. Good advice for people hanging off Santa Monica anyway. That was a 4 of Swords, and there's the High Priestess. Madam, so good to see you. Well, as is our usual practice, why don't you come now, sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Excellent. Well, why don't we have a look at this central energy that's here? And this is the King of Cups. Do you know, I think that Pisces and Aquarius are going to be important to you during this time. Now, the King of Cups here in this painting. Now, of course, you can look at the pictures and interpret them in your way. This is just what I'm seeing. But I'm seeing the King standing in a bright and sunny landscape. In his right hand, he holds a sailing ship, keeping it balanced even against rough waves. The turbulent sea, which is inside of him. Do you see that there? Well, it holds a large fish representing heavy emotions that churn within. Now, even during these rough times for him, the wise king remains calm and steady, withstanding every crashing wave. Now, he manages to safeguard the ship, which shows that there is being bestowed upon you a caring protection at the moment. Now, within you, I see an active and dynamic emotion during the period. You'll be very intuitive. You may come across as being quite mysterious in some way, but people are going to find your company intoxicating. You'll be something of a visionary. Now, you may turn to giving thought to spiritual matters from time to time, and you'll have a great understanding of events and facts as they come to you. There may be also with you a great idealism during this time. Now, you will have an intuitive understanding that derives from, well, what I can only call inner enlightenment. You will be sensual, sort of hard to pin down and quite mysterious in a way. You will characterize the positive energy of water. He is, of course, cups, which is dynamic and potent in its force. The swiftness and potency of his spiritualized emotions combined with his visionary insight make him and you a powerful enchanter and a very good teacher. Now you'll have an intoxicating imagination and a poetic inspiration that allows you to transcend the realm of matter and maybe unite with your higher self. Now, as the channel between the fire of the conscious ego and the watery unconscious emotions, this character here is able to shape the essence of reality to his own image. He is elusive, seductive, ambiguous, and deep, profound, qualities that will allow you to explore your own inner mysteries. Now, these mysteries are often dark and testing, but your fluid nature will allow you to absorb their esoteric meanings and powers into yourself without any harm. You'll have an enticing eroticism about you, and you'll come across as being quite sultry. You'll have a deep, sensual, and romantic nature, sometimes quite hedonistic in your behavior. Well, you would understand that. Life is for living, is it not? You will be a master of making things happen, and your intuitive skills mean that you can kind of shape-shift, transforming into and absorbing any energy that you desire. Now, you could come across as being quite difficult to understand, but you will have a tremendous empathy that could make you a great artist or a teacher. Now, what I see here is that on an inner spiritual level, there is here a sense of you trying to allow the higher self to shape reality on your behalf. The ego will be transformed into the current of the absolute, the divine, symbolized, I think, by this ship which is being protected at all times. Now, what's done in this corner, which is poking up, it just wants me to read it. Let me see what it says. The Four of Swords. Now, here is a woman. This is an interesting painting, isn't it? Because there is a woman resting up in the sky. She has found her special place on top of the moon. Reach for the moon, I suppose. Now, clouds are protecting her from noise and other distractions. You are almost being protected at this time. There's a divine protection around you. Now, 4 feathers, to go with the 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, they are falling softly from the sky, reflecting the peaceful attitude that she is surrounded by. Now, in this place, the woman finds perfect peace and silence to just think about things and to regenerate. Now, in the position that the card is in, which is underneath the Hierophant and opposite this Empress and touching onto the King of Cups, I see the astrology here as being Jupiter in Libra. Well, Libra is all about balance and sorting things out. Now, Jupiter, your planet, is here to bestow its good luck and its softer side on you as well, which is about healing, compassion and regeneration. There is, I think, here a sanctuary that is going on for you at the time, and you are gaining a firm foundation in order to just stop and reflect upon things. There is here the expansion of your mind, and I think you'll be very tolerant of other people. There's an abundance gathered after what I think has been a difficult situation that has been transgressed by you, I think. Now, I think that this signifies that you are resting to clear your mind after something of a stressful, disorderly, or confusing situation. It's a time of healing and recuperation where you can take a break and step back from an intense experience. Now, maybe you've been overtaxing yourself, and now you need to stabilize and recover. This is the perfect time to consolidate your inner resources and to reevaluate your personal agenda. It is a time to step back from a situation, or maybe from oppressive duties, to take time to think and engage in some soul searching. Now, this is also, I think, an omen warning you that unless you do take time to recharge your energies, you might be forced to give up something that you don't want to. Now, I do feel that you have such a fine mind, you think, and perhaps you have been overtaxing your mind, your emotions, or your body, and now you need to find peace and quiet to regain a firm foundation and a better perspective, or to allow the dust to settle on something. Now, I think you may soon face a challenge, maybe that you are nervous about, but now is the time to gently prepare yourself and gather your inner resources, because Jupiter, your planet, is here to protect you and to bring about success. Now, if you happen to have been suffering from an illness, I think that this is the time that there could well be a recovery from illness. This, in a sense, if you can imagine a truce being settled between engaged parties, then this is that sort of a moment where you can just recover yourself. There's a moment of recovery here, and you can reestablish your bearings after any unsettlement or stress. Yep, a great time for you. Get your act together and get back and on towards victory and enjoying everything that life has to offer. And nobody is more suited to doing that than you are, in my humble opinion. Now, here is the High Priestess. Well, she is standing between a pair of red curtains, protecting, again, this protection around you. Protecting, in this case, the entrance to a mysterious blue sky. She is the guardian of the unconscious mind, because she is very much associated with the moon, which is about digging deep and going within, and the unconscious and the subconscious thing. Now, she also guards the secrets of sacred wisdom. Now, I think she's urging you to listen to and to trust your inner voice, which is represented by the blue shell near her throat chakra. So trust your voice and speak it. You are the great communicator of the zodiac. It's also about, I think, exploring hidden places. Now, the ship in the dark waves shows you the depths of your intuition that guides you on your journey of self-knowledge and understanding. Yeah, very much associated with the moon, this dear lady here. There is a receptive feminine energy about, and the men don't need to be concerned about that. There's nothing wrong with receiving feminine energy here. But you will be very graceful during this period, and there is, I think as a result of this Four of Swords, an equilibrium with you, and again, a reflection on what is going on, and a perception. You'll have deep feelings, and yet you'll be calm, and you may even find that you are now beginning to have some patience towards something. Certainly, I think your dreams are going to be very vivid during this time. Now, I think that she is saying that you must become aware of a larger reality. Now, this challenge for you is to look deeper at something, beyond the obvious surface situation, to what is hidden or what is ambiguous. Now, this may be a situation, or it could be a person that she's referring to here. And she inspires you to recognize the greatness of your potential and to remember the unlimited possibilities that are within you. Now, she's telling you to access your intuitive powers and to develop them and to listen to your inner silence. I think she's appeared here, and particularly with this concept of the unconscious that's around here. I think she's asking you to understand that your feelings are rooted in the realms of your unconscious, which is always working on your behalf, gently weaving your desired patterns into the veil of the everlasting. Now, that's why you should use positive thoughts all the time and say positive things to yourself, because your unconscious doesn't know whether something is true or false. It just acts on the data that it is provided. So program yourself. You, of all people, should do this because you deserve it and you have the capability of doing it. I think this indicates also that a secret is soon to be disclosed to you, that you should be aware of this, looking out for signs in symbols, events, chance occurrences, or even in dreams. These things appear mysteriously. The fingerprints of things are on everything, aren't they? Now, this is interesting because I'm getting the feeling here of a sense of, not only is there a time of deep intuition here for you, but there could even be a degree of ESP or extrasensory perception with you during this time. And you may have an interest in developing an occult talent. Now, occult doesn't mean bad or evil. It just means something that isn't around usually. It's hidden. That's a talent within you that maybe hasn't been brought to the fore. Now, I think somebody who might have something not quite dissimilar to that, well, of course, these things are all connected, aren't they? And there's a great finish for you here, which goes to show the benefit of you taking this time to recuperate and then move on, knowing that you are protected by this King of Cups and also by this Priestess here. Let's have a look at the Hierophant, shall we? And see what there is here. Well, what do I see? I see an owl representing the Hierophant sitting on a branch of an old tree with strong roots. He is reading out of a book in front of a little girl, eagerly sharing his knowledge and wisdom with her. Now, the girl is listening very attentively. This old tree, I think, represents traditions grown out of centuries. And maybe what's going on here is that I think that this could well be saying that maybe you should just think about just going with the flow on traditions that are deeply held by people that you are close to. Even if you don't believe in them, just play along with it just for this month so that you avoid disruption. Now, in other circumstances, I call him the Magus of the Eternal. Very much getting here the sense of you being a mentor to somebody, a guide. You will also be seeking inner truth, and you'll be sharing knowledge. There is here the union of the human with the greater cosmos. And again, which is unusual for you, I'm getting this idea of patience around, but also a great degree of nurturing here as well. Now, you know that the Hierophant, he's really the intermediary between heaven and earth, the guide and the guardian of esoteric wisdom. Now, what this is saying here is because he's turned up in this position, which is opposite the High Priestess in the diagonal, I think it's saying that there is something that you need to learn, something important to be learnt or understood. Now, this could relate to an important established principle, a matter of morality, or the unveiling of a secret truth. Now, as a mediator between the everlasting and humankind, the Hierophant often speaks of a need to devote yourself to study and contemplation in order to gain a hidden meaning. Now, this doesn't mean going out and getting a college degree. It can be something like looking at if you're interested in cooking or in fashion or in hair, then use the time to find out more things that are going on. Certainly, if you're interested in spirituality, there's plenty of things on YouTube that can associate here. This is the sign of Taurus all around here, which is that fixed sign of earth. So we're sitting in the middle of material reality, where there is here around you all the pleasures that are associated with material reality, and you can let your mind wander to whatever pleasure that you have in mind. Now, I think what's also going on here is that there could well be a search for some spiritual knowledge that's here. And you might look for a guide. The guide could already be somebody in your life or in a text that you read, or sometimes a message that will come to you through a coincidence. And as I say, the fingerprints of spirituality are all over the material realm, and you might just see them in the most unlikely of places. I think that this is saying to you that, and I think what you will do, that this is a time when you will come to trust in your own interpretations of matters, be it politics or spirituality or religion or art or literature, whatever it may be. You will trust in your own interpretation of those things with a greater certainty of belief. And you'll be looking for the deeper patterns or the wider picture of a situation beyond the surface details of things to more deep-seated concerns. Now, I think what's also going on here is he's also saying to you that you must be focused and diligent in recognizing and developing your true calling. And in relationships, well, he can imply that a phase of deeper trust and establishment of a more permanent partnership is developing. Now, on an inner level, I think the Hierophant says that you are now ready to teach and encourage others. You have an opportunity to guide and mentor another person in your particular talent, to which you really have come to be something of an expert through hard work and dedication. Do you know that by passing on your knowledge, you gain great respect and a deep sense of worth? Now, I think that takes us finally, doesn't it, to, let's have a look here. What is finally? We've done. It's this. Oh, this is unusual. Well, you'll see why it's unusual. Just have a look at this. Now, this is the Emperor, but it's depicted as a lady emperor, and there's nothing wrong with that, because this version of the Emperor is represented by an impressive woman who stands in front of a huge palace. The castle structure represents the emperor's legitimate claim to sovereign power. The gold crown on her head and the official attire that she is wearing show her as a major authority with a strong will. Now, long braids of hair symbolize her considerable experience and intelligence. And the Emperor is holding thin ropes, isn't she, to which are tied the people on the ground. Now, those people are proportionately small, but they appear like powerless puppets, really. But I think you may think that she is manipulating and controlling those people, but I think that the Emperor is protecting her subjects. The son of the morning, the chief among the mighty. What do we have here? Well, I see here that we have Mars ruling Aries with the Sun exalted, which is a particularly good astrological combination for you, particularly in Aries, which is one of your sister fire signs. You are right in the picture here. So there is going to be, after this time of recuperation, great energy, a leadership ability with you. People are going to see you as being a natural leader. You'll have strength, ambition, and confidence. Now, there's also going to be with you, and I've mentioned this before, a great degree of passion. And there's also a great degree of originality here. There's a rulership, a mastery of a situation, but you will be interested in justice at all times. You are, in effect, the great attorney of the zodiac, always seeking justice on behalf of the client. But you will have a great perception and objectivity, and your thoughts are going to be really quite rational. There's a courage here, a wisdom, and you'll be having power things. Now, this can represent indicating a conquest. It could be a conquest of a person. You may have set your eyes on somebody and thought that this is a time to go after them. Now, I think what we have here is that you're going to be fine emotionally at this time. This is saying that you are going to be forthright, direct, and you will look at a situation less emotionally than maybe you would have done at other times. I think you might be taking a firm stand on something, which is probably to do with yourself, because you'll be setting boundaries, and you will be taking control of the situation. Now, this doesn't apply just in human relationships, but it can also include any inner conflicts. He is your fighting spirit, or she, I should say, is your fighting spirit and your personal fortress, your inner empire. Now, I think after this time of recuperation, it is time to pick yourself up and stand defiant, to draw magic energy from your spirit and overflow with confidence. You will be something of a ruler and leader, taking control of situations, seeing what motives of people really are, weighing the facts with a clear and focused mind, and then taking action. So it's not fire, aim, it's aim before you fire. Now, this doesn't actually always have to be this fiery action which comes from Aries here, or from your own sign, but it's about being precise and making intelligent plans and looking at things rationally. I think that this is the time to begin making plans, to start a new venture, or to spend time away from a situation and recharge your life force and self-assurance if it's necessary, but we've seen this here. Now, I think what this is here is that you must recognize that a person in your life who bestows good supporting qualities upon you should be appreciated. Perhaps this is a supportive friend, or a father figure, or a mentor that you can turn to for guidance and instructions. I think this could also mean here that you could have something to do with government officers, such as maybe, I'm not thinking so much lawsuits, but I am getting the feeling of having to do things in relation to government business. Now, in relationships, I think he indicates a grounded, loving, just partnership with someone who gives you the support of a firm foundation and confidence, or to whom you are a support or an inspiration. Now, like his title, Son of the Morning, that I call him, she grants you the gift to begin a new day, to start things afresh, and to engage in the excitement of making new plans. Well, what a fantastic spread of cards for you. Well done, you. I trust you enjoyed that as much as I did providing it to you. I certainly enjoyed providing that reading to you. I always do, though, don't I? I love to see you, and thank you for having me in your home. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate the confidence that you place in me and the warmth which you show to me. Now, I'm not going to see you again probably unless you contact me for a reading or for a healing until next month. But until then, remember one thing and one thing only, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.